What's happening? This is Justin
and MaHogany.
What's going on, guys? Listen, we wanted to come on and talk about the importance of time management. The reason we talk about this, my wife,
I knew you had run your hair somehow.
does not have no time management.
Yes, I do.
I said, honey, how long is gonna take you to get ready? Oh, nothing but an hour. Okay. I know it's gonna take more than that. I come downstairs, hour and went by. I said, how long you gonna be? How long you got more on your makeup? I'm done. We gotta go at 2. I'm done. 30 minutes roll back, still in the bathroom.
I'm still successful, so
She's successful. When it comes to her, appointment or gotta go hair salon, we lived in Lynchburg, Virginia. Hair salon, the appointment started at 11. MaHogany don't leave the house at 10:55. The importance of time management. It's this poem I wanted to read to y'all real quick before we dive into this discussion. It's a poem. I don't know the title, but I want you to listen to it real quick. Here we go. The poem says, I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. I want to suggest to you that maybe the reason you're not successful yet and the reason you don't conquer your goals like you should is because you don't have no time management. When it comes to you and time, y'all don't get along.
Well,
what you think?
I definitely agree. It's so important that you manage your time.
It is.
I mean, when it comes to everything, when it comes to how you allow people to use your time.
Oh, that's a big one. Come on.
How you use your time. I think managing your time is important all the way around.
It is. It's important because you only have 24 hours a day. And a lot of you work a 9 to 5 or have a job. Then by the time you come on, you got kids. And then that, you got to do cleaning the house, housely duties or whatever. So you don't even have time for yourself. So it's important that you prioritize your time.
Yes.
Especially if you're an entrepreneur, you want to be an entrepreneur, you're seeking to do something. How are you going to do it if you cannot manage your time? Because you're going to have to figure out why everything else is demanding your time, how to fit in time for yourself.
Right.
So it is very important to have time management. But I want to focus on this one key, and what you said is allowing people to take your time.
Yes. I mean, in just a lot of ways. I can think of one way. If you are trying to get your goals conquered that day, or you're trying to get things on your to-do list knocked out during a certain day, if somebody calls you with a non-emergency, sometimes you don't have time to be a listening ear on that day. Sometimes you don't have time to offer advice. Sometimes you don't have time to have a 30-minute to an hour conversation with somebody. So it's even important that you manage how you allow people to use your time within a day, because I've even allowed a conversation to take an hour to 2 hours of my day, and then by the time I get off the phone, I have to go back to other duties, and I literally wasted time that I could have been putting towards my vision on a phone call that really could have waited. So you have to be careful on how you let people use your time. They don't necessarily have the intentions to hold you back, but it's just you not prioritizing your time that you allow them to do that.
And that's the truth. You got to prioritize when people call you, to vent, when people call you, they need something. And the biggest one, and some of you maybe don't know how to deal with, is when family wants to take your time. I come to tell you, if your family or whoever's calling you that's taking your time ain't paying bills, you need to hang up the phone. Let it go to voicemail. And they might say, I know you see me calling. Yeah, I see you calling, but I ain't got the time. You got to learn to prioritize your time. You are not going to be successful. You're not going to be further in life or conquer the goals that you have if you are allowing people to take your time. Secondly, if you're allowing toxic people. Because when you allow toxic people to take your time, then you're allowing them to take your time. Then secondly, you're allowing them to dump their toxic words, their mouth, their spirit on you. And then not only are they taking your time, they're making you toxic as well.
Well, that is so true. I remember when I was trying to just go down a better direction in life, I literally had to cut ties with people that were okay with being in the same place, people who were okay smoking, people who were okay being broke. I remember, I think Steve Harvey may have said it, but I don't know exactly, but they said if you have a group of friends and everybody broke, you gonna be broke too. And some of us, I've even had this mindset in the past. I'm like, well, I can still be around broke people and still be that person who works hard to have wealth or create generational wealth. No, eventually you continue to be around them people, they will change your mentality. They'll change your drive before you change their drive. So it's better for you to just sever them ties and say, deuces, I got places to go, I'm trying to be better, than to continually allow them to take your time with those toxic behaviors, those, draining situations.
Time is so important. And when it comes to people, you have to cut times. Attach when they, cut that time when they're taking your time away. You just can't afford that. You can't afford to sit around and text people and just have conversation and ain't talking about nothing. That's one of the things about me. And a lot of people, some people will brush up. I'm not going to sit there and talk to you all day if you ain't talking about nothing. Even when it comes to family, I love family. I would come have food with you. But I'm a person that if it doesn't have any purpose so if I'm just coming to sit and we're not on no purpose, or this occasion or this meeting is not nothing, there's no purpose of it, I'm not going to sit there all day, waste my time. I'm not going to sit there and watch TV with you all day. And I know that sounds harsh, but you got to prioritize time. And you might say, well, sometimes, some people argue back and forth whether, you should do this or do that or talk to friends, all that. Some people go back and forth, especially in this day and age on social media. And that's good, but maybe I suggest to you, maybe the reason you might have more time is because, you haven't discovered your purpose, or you may have discovered you have more time. But it is some of us that you may be watching video. You have a lot of time. You think you got a lot of time, but truth is you're not, because you haven't tapped in and discovered what God has for you. And trust and believe, hear me. When you discover your purpose, when you discover what God wants you to do, when you discover where you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years, when you discover what God has called you to build, like he called Noah to build, and it's going to take some time, you ain't got time to waste time.
For real.
You ain't got time to waste it. You ain't got time to go out to eat with everybody and spend money when you need to be putting money in your entrepreneur stuff. When you need to be putting money towards building your business, building that ministry, building that school. When you realize and when you discover and you hit that I call it that, let's say gold mine, and God speaks to you and he says, I've called you to do this. That's when you realize I ain't got much time, because you'll look up, if you're 25, 30 will be around the corner. If you're 30, 35 will be around the corner. You don't have time to waste your time. God has called you to do too much. And maybe the reason you haven't gotten there is because you keep wasting your time. Let's go into relationships. Maybe some of you are wasting time with relationships. You're wasting time. If you know he ain't got no car, he ain't got no job, he ain't trying to be ambitious. All he is trying to do is lay the pipe in you. I'm preaching. If I'm preaching, you already running late. I'm already preaching. If that boy you dealing with is laying the pipe but ain't laying a mission in front of you,
wow, that's good.
You're wasting your time. Because a real man realizes that I'm going to lay out a mission for us
Yeah.
because we don't have much time.
Wow. So
What does the Bible say? Help me refer. That a mind,
idle mind.
idle mind. Talk to me about that. Bring back that scripture because I'm forgetting.
Basically, the idle mind is the devil's playground.
The idle mind is the devil's playground. You constantly have to be, even with your mind, you just sitting there having idle time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting these blood cells. You're wasting this mind that God has given you. You can't afford to sit idle. You can't afford.
All it does is cause you to go get into stuff you ain't got no business getting into.
Yeah. It calls you to be obligated. Y'all know what I should say it. But it calls you to be messed up. I drive tractor trailer for a living. And I've discovered even when we park the truck for a period of time, depending on what the temperature is outside, the truck idles. But at certain points, if the temperature is below a certain point, the truck, when it's idling, it cuts off. And some of y'all are stagnant right now and you're stuck. It's because you waste your time. You're sitting there and you just cut off. You're cut off. You don't think. You're not focused. You're just sitting there wasting time. And this is the season. This is the time, especially while we're in this pandemic.
Look.
Hello, somebody. Hello. Especially while we're in this pandemic. This is the time that you stop wasting time.
Yes.
This is the time that you get your focus back. This is the time that you clean. You do a spring cleaning. I'm not talking about just physically, spiritually. This is the time that you get your life in order and you cut off who you need to cut off. The best thing, and I understand we're praying for Corona, but some of us can be honest with ourselves. Corona happening was the best thing to us because it caused us to become social distance from some people who we needed to be distanced with a long time ago.
Wow, that's a lot. That's.
Let me say that again. Corona helped some of us to become social distance from people that we should have been social distance from a long time ago.
Wow, that's really good. That's rich.
So this is the time that you isolate yourself. You write that book. You start that business. You cut off who you need to cut off. Delete them out your phone. And you get your time back. And I believe the time that you've lost, God will come back and restore it. But I want you to also know that time is ticking. And God is not going to keep giving you chance after chance, moment after moment. He's saying, come on, start it. Come on and do it. Come on and follow me. Pick up your cross and follow me. But he's not going to keep calling. Just like the bar, when the bartender says, last call. This is your last call for you to stop wasting your time and get up and do what God's called you to do.
I agree.
Listen, I'm Justin.
And I'm MaHogany.
Subscribe to our channel. I pray that something was said on this video that will cause you to get up and stop wasting your time.